So I am, cliche, the black sheep of the family. I'm the middle child, and I was partially raised by two older sisters, Tony and Tanya. And the reason I think it's important for people to know that I have two older sisters is there's a respect that I have for women. I think that isn't really important, that growing up and watching them grow up and mature really changed me as a gentleman, but also grew me up in the sense of being a male protector. I think my favorite part of growing up with my sisters was the reenactments we would do with musicals. I've watched Grease more times than I care to tell most people. My oldest sister, Tony, just celebrated her 40th birthday, and she's still mad that I didn't run home to Seattle to go see her, but I had a lot going on. She did it right during Christmas, which is when her birthday is, and she always complains about it. I always wanted what they have, like when they started driving and going to things and doing things, like birthday parties was weird, you get your sisters going to birthday parties early. But there was never a level of competition like I have with my younger brother, which is another brilliant part of growing up. But my two older sisters, I don't think I've ever told them how much I owe them, both thank yous and my complaints. If you could look closely, I've got a scar that was, I would pretend that I was like a ninja a lot, or we'd watch a movie and I'd pretend that I was a superhero and I'd chase my sisters around with random stuff, a bat, like literally could probably hurt them. And they were bigger than me, and they made sure of that. And this one was Tony. Yes, I'm looking into the camera this time. Tony, you did this. You threw me into a folding closet. Everyone knows old school folding closet doors. And it was definitely bleeding very bad, and I definitely probably needed stitches, but my father refused to take me because he thought it was so stupid. The war wounds and the songs I'll never forget. The singing and dancing and playing, I don't know, it taught me to be a kid. It definitely made me more outgoing, where I stayed that way, and it also, when you're asked to entertain your people outside of your immediate family because they know you can, you desensitize yourself to embarrassment in some sorts. And so it stuck with me till this day. I could dance very embarrassingly and sing very embarrassingly with the best of them. So I thank them for that. I thank them for beating me up and challenging me. I thank them, many respects, my oldest sister, I thank her for, paving the way. For anyone who's got specifically two older sisters, for those people who are out there, they'll get what I'm saying. I can't explain it. You grow up different. I think that if I had two older brothers, I probably, just from what I hear you and what I see with other kids now that I have my own, you grow up tough. My poor son has 4 sisters. But at the same time, I think it's going to grow him up differently. He's got 2 older sisters too, so it's just ironic. But I think that I have a very, very strange connection to my sisters. It's like we never left each other when we see each other. I live in New York. They live in Seattle area. Obviously, the ones that you're closest with in age, I think you tend to get a very, closest to, because you just had more time with them, like one, especially when you're a teenager. I spent 2 years of high school with my older sister, Tanya, and she's literally my best friend. And I got to see a lot. We went through a lot together. She took the bluntness of my dad getting sick, and so when I say I'm successful, I think a lot of it is because they took the licks before me. You son of a bitch. God, this is not a good idea to tell people, but they took a lot of licks before me, a lot. And I think that the younger siblings after me took a lot of licks as well. I was lucky. I just had this like perfect paved way. So I lived an easy teenage life, and but yet I had enough humility because of my sisters that humbled me physically to be genuine about the pedestal that I was on at times. obviously I was probably pretty egotistical and would have done some things differently, but I genuinely think that, you're only a product of your environment, and it's why I care so much about the people that I work for. My sisters, my 2 older sisters, changed my life. That was a good one. I'm done. I'm good for today.